Good day, everyone, and welcome. Today, we gather here to celebrate an incredible milestone of Mr. Dean Chauke, who is 60 years old today. It's not just a celebration of years, but of life filled with purpose, love, and unwavering faith. Through it all, Mr. Dean has lived by a deep and steadfast belief in God, a guiding force that has shaped every decision, every relationship, and every success. From the early days, Mr. Dean was always destined to make an impact. Graduating from university, then embark on a journey that will lead to career achievement. But through it all, his faith was the cornerstone of every success. As a parent, pastor, brother, mentor, friend, and a role model, Mr. Dean Chauke has touched lives with compassion, wisdom, and dedication, whether it's for leading the community or family. Mr. Dean has always lived out their faith in tangible ways, serving others, spreading kindness, and showing us all what it means to walk with God. Today, we reflect on all those cherished memories and look forward to many more adventures, blessings, and milestones in the years ahead. So, here is to Mr. Dean, a person whose faith has been a beacon of light, an inspiration, and a source of strength for us all. Happy 60th birthday. Long life and prosperity. Amen.
So mina ngakhuluma isiNdebele.
So Gogo, ngicela uzi-introduce, usitshele ukuthi ungubani kudidi.
Okay, I'm glad it's Chauke. Dean's mother.
Yeah. So umntanakho namhla ose 60. So uzwa njani ukuthi he's turned 60 and esesemncane lama memories and ama memories akadidi now that he's 60.
Latin manje uzakhuluma.
Hayi khuluma isiNdebele. Right.
Right. Dean Chauke wazalwa ngo-1965.
Yeah.
August.
Yeah.
Abanye bonke bazalelwa esibhedlela. He was the only child owazalelwa ekhaya. Uhathi.
Yeah.
And after that, sahamba laye esibhedlela. Saphenduka. Khule kuhle. Samfundisa kuhle. Waba lo msebenzi wakhe omuhle. Wachata waba lo nkosikazi. Labantwana. Ekukhuleni kwakhe wayethanda iBhayibheli. Kuze kube nanamuhla umfundisi esikuthanda kakhulu kuyo yonke into empilo yakhe. Segcine kuhle abantu bakhe sebekhulile. Siyabonga kakhulu. Usekhulile. Esikuthandayo ukuthi bonke lomkakhe bebengabantu abazi abantu. Ube umkakhe umama wawo wonke umuntu. Laye ngubaba wawo wonke umuntu. Empilweni yabo abazange bakhethe umuntu. Up to now besele 60 years. And lokho esenza khona lokho. Bonke lomkakhe. Imuli yonke ingaphansi kwezandla zabo.
Yeah.
Akula ngitsho nomuntu oyedwa abamkhethayo ongekho kubo. Kanye lezihlobo zabo ziseduze labo. Esikuthandayo kakhulu. Thank you.
Hayi, sakuthanda Gogo. Ukulokhuza. What are you most thankful for, Modet?
Mostly. Engikuthandayo ngomntanami. Ngimfundisile. Waba nomsebenzi wakhe. Eselo msebenzi wakhe wenzile ukuncedisa abafowabo. Encedisa thina abazali ukuthi sifundise abafowabo bonke babe lemisebenzi yabo. Abantwana bangu-7. Ngilama-teacher, ngilamanesi, ngilama-engineer, ngilawo wonke umuntu. So because of uDini and lomkakhe, which is very nice empilweni yami.
Yeah. Thank you, Coco. Oh, so nxa let's say 60 for the future ufuna ukumkhulekela ukuthi ethini for the rest of impilo yakhe khathesi.
Mina engikufisayo empilweni yami, ngifisa ukuthi impilo yakhe iye phambili ngokuphiwa kwakhe nguNkulunkulu nokuthanda kwakhe uNkulunkulu. Impilo yakhe angifisa ukuthi iyefika kuma-100 and something years. Ukuze avuthelele imuli yonke le izikhule ibe le ndlela yokuphila.
Amen.
Amen.
Hayi, siyabonga Gogo.
Alright.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for this. It really means a lot.
Thank
We're
you.
going to have this in a memory for great grandkids. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Hello.
Hi.
Can you please introduce yourself, please?
Yes, I am Letogoshe, which means she brings beauty.
Wow.
Or good things. Rebecca Chauke. And I am Dad, Dean's daughter, and only daughter, and only daddy's girl, Princess.
And today is I've got a couple of questions, sort of reflections, family values. Because today is your dad's 60th birthday. Is a big celebration. You can't be 60 twice. My first question is, what is your very first memory of your father, and why do you think it had stayed with you?
So my very first moment of Dad is him looking after me, really, and how he was involved in looking after us, and he's always been there, and helped with Mum from the start to finish, to the point where sometimes he would squash himself on like a small single bed when I was sick, and I do remember that vividly. That was a very, very big memory, that he left Mum in the bedroom. I had a temperature and stuff, and he stayed in the room. He gave me paracetamol, and yeah, he literally stayed all night and slept in like a very, very, very small bed. So I feel like it was a cot, and then it was moved to like a bed, but it was small, like he was squashed, but he stayed there, and I just slept on his chest, and I laid there, and that's very, very comforting for me, because that brought a lot of calmness,
of course,
around.
When you think of your father from your childhood, what is the first picture that comes to your mind?
So the first picture that comes to my mind is a dove, or probably a waterfall, like an image, or even like behind us, really, like fire, wood, like something calming and very peaceful. And yeah, that's literally the best way to describe him: calm and peace.
Calmness and peace. That's like a trait that you live through your dad.
Yeah, so I feel like if there's an image, you just see just a white dove that's pure, really, and peaceful and very calm.
What small act of kindness from your father do you still carry in your heart till today? It doesn't really matter what he has done to family, siblings, you before, which is a small heart of kindness that you still carry today.
So the small acts of kindness really is, it might be small, but it means a lot to somebody. So in a sense of like him, like just driving 30 minutes to cut my grass, it might seem small to somebody, but it's very huge. Even when I haven't asked him to, he will, and he'll call me as well. and make sure that he's okay to come to my house, even though he's got a spare key. But it's something very, very small, and he will cut the grass with no like intent of getting anything back, and that's what he does with everybody. And even with so many things, he is an electrical engineer, he's done so many jobs and so many works for his friends, and he's never asked for money, and that's very, very sweet to see. And in that sense, because he's done that, a lot of people value him a lot, and he's loved by so many people because of the kindness that he brings. And his kindness is never an exchange, it's just always that he gives and doesn't expect anything back. And I always carry that, especially like with his siblings that live here, and a couple that live abroad, but he always is giving, and he never expects anything back, and he goes above and beyond people, which has then helped me carry it, to be fair, in the workplace and in life, really.
Which is very rare today.
Yeah.
What is the most important life lesson your father has taught you?
There's many lessons.
Take your time, please.
So the most important one that he's taught me,
Yes.
mm,
Life lesson.
a life lesson. Taught me a lot, to be fair. Mm, life lessons. There's been many life lessons. Many life lessons. But I think a lot of it is just knowing yourself, actually. I'd say that. That's probably one of the biggest, actually, life lessons. And being confident and comfortable in yourself. That's been a huge lesson, because it's helped me really carry myself in everything. Because even when I've done interviews and I'm not sure about the job, my dad will always tell me that I've got the job, and go in and tell yourself that you have gotten the job. And with every interview, I've always gotten the job. I've never not gotten a job in everything that I've done. So I carry that a lot, because with everything he's confident, but confident in a humble way, because he always tells me that I'm very smart, and very kind, and in the role that I do, I've then carried that with me, and with everything really, I just move like with faith, um, and know that even if something is through the storm or something's happening, that there's always an end, and it's always a better end, and it's not a bad ending. That the storm is only temporary, but it's greater things that are ahead. And yeah, there always has been greater things ahead, despite of the hard, difficult situations that we've faced as a family. But here we are, 60 years later and 32 years later. So yeah.
How has your father shaped your understanding of love and kindness?
So him shaping my understanding of love and kindness is just seeing how he's loved us, really. And how he loves us is literally what's written in the Bible, in Corinthians, in a section just regarding love, and it quotes about love is kind and love is patient, and literally all the statements that are in that is dad, and he carries it with him. And being able to see that, give it to us, and not just us, and being able to give the same love that he's given to us to other people, is very beautiful. Someone that's not his blood and someone that's not his family, he will give the same love, but obviously gives it to us, but in a deeper way. And I think one of the biggest things as well is just how he loves mum. As years go by, and as they get older, it feels like he loves mum more and more, which is a beautiful thing to see. And yeah, when I see them, it's just love. And when I see him, how he treats mum, it's just the littlest things. When he's running upstairs, if mum just says her feet are cold, he'll just run upstairs and get socks without a word, and he'll put them on her feet. And it's just the little things, that how he loves mum has been a huge factor for me, because I've seen it from such a young age, and I've grown up, and it's not changed. It's not gotten any worse or anything like that. It's actually gotten better, and he loves mum more and more, and is so kind to mum. Even like if he's tired and he comes back from work, And mum was like, oh, I really wanted that coffee. And then he'll leave his work bag and he'll walk back and he'll go get some milk and then he'll come back despite him having a very long day at work. But it's that act of kindness. It's the smallest things, but means a lot and it's very big. And I've carried that with me a lot in everything that I do in life, really.
Okay. What role has his faith and values play in your life as an adult?
So his roles of faith and values as an adult have started really from when we were young. Faith has always been the biggest thing in our family, and it's very huge. And that's helped us in many ways in storms, very, very horrible storms and testing times in our family. But the faith that my dad has had is instilled in every single one of us, to be honest. And I believe it has instilled that in his children. And that's a very hard thing to do, um, to pass it down to your children. And he's always been a very faithful man in everything that we've done, even before they bought the house. And I vividly remember they wanted to buy a house and they'd only been in the country for a short amount of time. And a lot of people were telling him that he'll never be able to buy a house, but he always said that I'll buy a house. And that house, he literally bought it, and then he even bought a bigger house. And the house was then our own very family home that we've used for years. Um, so his faith has been a very, very big thing in in our family and in life, and has helped us really as an adult as well now, in terms of the faith that I have in Christ. Um, is a huge thing because he carries it in everything that he does, even in the workplace. He does it, and everybody knows that dad is a very faithful man, and they invite him out anyway, regardless, because of his kindness. But they'll know that he'll be there and he won't drink, but he'll still go, even if it's for a short time, like 30 minutes. But yeah, he's a very loving and faithful man, and it's continued really and instilled with us. Also, like his values have always been the same; they've never changed. And again, it's the same that he since probably I was one, he would always continue, and it's not like repeating, but he would tell us what his values are, and we would see them really, and in essence, has helped us in life. Like I went to uni. There's many things that could have happened at uni that people do when they get drunk and they lose themselves or get pregnant or anything like that. But in my head, I always went, and I always went as like Chauke's daughter, like Dean Chauke's daughter, and that's always that I've carried in my head, and I always see myself, and I think to myself, if I'm in a situation like what, obviously, like what would Jesus do, what would Christ do, but also I always feel like what would my dad do or what he would do in this moment, which made me think twice about a lot of things because I'm like, that's not my family values, and it's made me step away from a lot of things, and a lot of things have actually saved me in life and got me to where I am, to understand that some things are not according to the values that I've been taught.
Mhm.
And it's made me step away. And through that, I've then thrived and become the woman that I've become, really, because of him.
That's amazing. What sacrifice did your father make for you that you now see more clearly as an adult? But you don't really see them when you're growing up anyway. But
Hmm.
because you have lived through life now.
Hmm.
So what are the sacrifices?
Um, Sacrificing his time. Time is a big factor. Um, no matter what, he he's always present. Um, the biggest sacrifice, in all honesty, is him coming, making us, helping the family and bringing us to the UK. And that was a huge sacrifice for him because he had to leave many things, not just him. He left his mum, um, in Zimbabwe. He left his brothers, he left his siblings, and it was just him. And at that time, we were young and coming to a different country, but he came and he set a lot of things up for us, and schools, everything. He bought like jackets from like Asda to make sure, and he met us at the airport actually with those jackets. And the time we went to that house, we ate and it was time to sleep, and dad actually like slept on the floor, and there was a double bed, but he put me and my brother in there first and he put us to bed, and mum joined him, but then mum dad told mum to join us in bed, and throughout really until he got his first paycheck and couldn't afford another bed, he literally stayed on the floor. And now, like, as I'm older, it's hard to get old and you're back. So you're making such a sacrifice as that is huge for me. And sacrificing his time, regardless of how busy he was or how tired he is. And sometimes he'd fall asleep, like even if we're watching a movie, because he wants to spend that time with me. And after work, he would, even though he had some assignments to do, he always made sure that there's 30 minutes or to an hour, whether we pray together, watch something together, um, do my lessons, teaching maths. He's very good at maths. He's a smart man. But time is a very valuable thing, and it's 24 hours, but the time flies and there's a lot that happens within 24 hours. But he's always made sure that within that 24 hours, he made time for us as a family and also made time for us individually, for me as a daughter, for my brother, and for mum as well. So it's not only that, it wasn't only me, but it was also mum and also my brother as well. So yeah, because I find it hard and I don't have a family to balance everything out, like work, sociable relationships. It's a very hard thing, but
Yes, of course.
he managed to do everything. And now I look back as an adult and I will always keep asking myself, how did he do it? And I just don't really have an answer, to be honest. But I value it more now that I'm an adult and see things in life.
What qualities about your father do you admire most? Me, he's got a lot of qualities.
He's got many, 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 many. Mm, his ability, his ability to be, how can I explain it? Like with every storm, he's calm. Like, yes, there's many, many moments. And the three words I always remember, and he always says, like with everything, is all is well. And I remember like when my granddad passed away, and it was a very emotional time. But the three things literally that he said was all is well. And we were all upset and we were all crying. And he just, in his head, in a sense, he just knew. And it's just a sense of peace and calmness in everything. And it helps us as a family, really. And it's carried us through in life. It's a very, very huge quality to, I've never seen my dad in the 32 years that I've lived panic or be scared of something. And in every storm, I will always call my dad first. I remember before I had a car accident, I called dad first because he's very calm. Instead of calling the police, or if I felt sick, I'd call my dad first. Um, but it's his ability to be calm and to tell you that things are going to be okay, even though it's very, very difficult at that time to see. But he sees things further, and he's always taught us that despite the storm, there's always better things ahead. And yeah, it's a very, very big valuable thing that he does and still continues to do till now, as I'm grown, continues to do it.
How has your father shown you faith in action, either through God or his beliefs?
Mm,
In action.
in action, prayer, prayer, consistently. Um, Sometimes I always laugh about it, but yeah, that I'd be sleeping and then I would wake up and then I'll just feel like just this oil on my head and I'm like, what's he doing? And it'd be anointing oil. And he's consistently praying for us. And I truly and honestly believe that without his prayers, I don't know where I'd be in life. Not that I'm a crazy person or whatever, but I feel like a lot of things that have happened for me is dad has prayed a lot. Like God is gracious and God is amazing, but dad has like kept us really as a family, and he's persistently prayed for me from start to finish. And many things that have happened to me in life, I believe is it's literally his faith that's helped me carry it along. When I wanted to buy a house, I was very like down and daunted, thinking that I can't buy a house, but he said you can. And I even bought something that was £100,000 more than what it was actually meant to be. And that was because of his faith and continuously. And I truly do not know where we would be as a family without Dad's faith.
Right.
It's been the foundation really of our household. As him being the breadwinner, he is literally a description of a breadwinner in the Bible. And yeah, he continues that really.
What is the one piece of advice from your dad that you will never forget, that will stick with you forever? One piece
One piece
of advice.
that will stick with me. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. That that's always in my head. And yeah, what other yeah. Yes. I can do all things. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. And he's said it from the start and he still says it today. And sometimes when I go through some crazy things at work and just challenges, and that's literally the verse that he always sends continuously. Um, and he'll always send it, and yeah, and it will give me the strength really to continue and to fight because he that is in me is greater. So he's taught me a lot.
What wisdom of his do you hope to pass down to your own children or future generation
What wisdom?
of your dad?
Mm, got a lot of wisdom. Way, a lot more wisdom. Um, in all honesty, the thing that I would say that I want to carry is just to be him. In all honesty, and the best thing is to raise your family with God, because I feel like he didn't raise the family by himself, but with God by his side, and he's always been by his side, and that is something that I wish and dearly hope that will happen. That will continue in faith and bring it down to my children really, and the things that he used to do for us to pray and eat together and everything else. Even now, sometimes when I live by myself and I eat by myself, it feels weird because we always sat down and ate as a family. And that was really an open time to ask really what's wrong or what's happening or what's happening in life. And he's given so much wisdom. I really cannot narrow it down, but he he himself is honestly, if I was to be half of the man that he is, I feel like my children would turn out to be absolutely amazing. And I wish to bring every single thing that he's taught me down to my children and all the values to them.
Good afternoon, and thank you for having me.
You're welcome. Can you please introduce yourself, please, and your relationship with the celebrant who is 60 years old today?
Thank you very much. My name is Ezekiel Chinyo, and I've known the celebrant for over 20 years. Though he's a friend, but I'll say he's a brother because he's the friend that I've related with the longest and the closest. So it's a deep relationship, and I'm glad to be associated with him.
Amazing. As we are celebrating his 60th birthday, I want you to take a moment to reflect on his journey and share your thought, blessings, memory. Your words will be treasure gift for the celebrants and for the generation to come. My first question: looking back on his 60 years, what moment quality or memory of him stand out most to you, and why?
There are lots of things to say. So if you ask me for one thing, it would be difficult to pick one. But you could say consistency. He has been consistent on the positive side. He has good qualities and he has maintained consistency in keeping up with doing good things. He has not allowed the pressures of life to influence his disposition, to change his persuasion. Sometimes you face disappointments in life, you face challenges in life, and some people, it makes them to recoil and withhold from doing good. But not so, my brother. He's always out there trying to impact society, impact friends in a positive manner. And he has been consistent in doing that. So I admire him for that.
That's amazing. Consistencies throughout the years, part of the memories and what mostly stand out about him. How has his kindness, love, or faith in God has touched or influenced your own life as a friend?
Always, again, building on the theme of consistency, we discuss spiritual issues, spiritual questions, and I'm always impressed with his knowledge, with his wisdom, and with his solutions. Recently, we discussed what is known as the rapture, which Christians will know,
Yes.
referring to the second coming of our Lord Jesus Christ. Many people have prophesied that rapture will take place in September 2025. And we recently discussed that, and he gave me his inciting view, bringing me back to what the Bible says about the second coming, that Jesus promised us that no one knows the day, the hour, the time, and we should not be easily swayed by many people that come up to say that God has given them something that is contrary to Scripture. So I'm quite impressed with his depth of knowledge on the spiritual side, but outside Scripture, his knowledge is deep and profound. I've been touched in many ways. I can say that he did some of the electrics in my house, not only the electrics, but some other aspects of work in my house. So he's such a helpful and interesting friend and brother to have, and I can keep going on and on and on many things that he's known for.
Thank you so much. What lessons or value have you learned by simply watching the way he lived his life throughout the 60 years or since you have known him?
Again, I'll say there are many things, but the one that is fresh now,
Yes.
in these last few days, and I've watched it over the years, I like the way he relates with his children. You see friendship. Some Africans, their cultural upbringing does not promote that kind of closeness with their children. They maintain a distance. But my friend connects with his children, they connect with him, they feel free to come to him, to discuss whatever they want to, bring up any subject matter. That's how it should be. And it helps your children, to know that you are there for them all the time. So it's something I'm learning from him, and I hope I can get better in that direction. So it's a nice virtue he's got.
Even with the closeness, they will be able to be more open. Regardless, the certain respect is still there and the
Yes,
boundaries,
yes,
which
yes.
is not something that is really common.
It's
Like
true.
I remember when I was growing up, we have to talk to my mom
Hmm.
to place what we wanted to talk to my dad first.
Hmm.
So my mom have to speak to my dad on our behalf, so it'll be more easier by the time we are going to speak to him. So it's
Exactly.
not that you're saying it's not like that.
No, it's not like that. He's open, and gentle with the children, approachable, so they feel easy to relate with him and
Which is
open up their minds, discuss their challenges with him, knowing that he will not put them down. Rather, he will encourage them on what is good for them and for their future.
Future. That's amazing. If you could offer one blessing, prayer, or word of encouragement for his next chapter, what will it be?
I will pray for strength.
Yes.
He works hard, he sleeps late, wakes up early, and spends the day doing lots of things. He has lots of energy. I pray that that energy will remain, that it will keep him going and going, that his strength will be renewed in God. The Bible says that they that wait on the Lord shall renew their strength. I pray that his strength shall be renewed. The Bible says that God renews our youth. So may God renew his youthfulness, keep him going. May he not grow weary as he ages further. Amen.
What is your heartfelt wish or hope for him as he celebrates the milestone of 60 years? This can be prayer, this can be part of what you just said, but this is your wish. If he's watching this in future, um, I just wanted to say some certain prayer for him.
I pray that God will enlarge his coast. He's doing lots of things, impacting lots of people. And since he's got a heart for it, I pray that God will enlarge what he's doing. If God needs to bring other people that will join forces with him, that's fine. But let the influence grow and increase. Let it begin to stretch beyond one country to other countries. Let God begin to give him a greater vision and empower him with resources that will enable him to fulfill that greater vision. And he has the capacity to do that. He has the ability to do that. The virtue to connect with different people that can help achieve a goal. So I pray for enlargement, that God will make it happen and happen quickly.
Thank you so much for your time. We appreciate all of it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks.
Good afternoon.
Can you tell me your name and your relationship to the celebrant today?
My name is Juan Dogoshe Yolanda Chauke, and I am my father's favorite son.
Wow. I've got some questions for you as your dad is turning 60 today. When you think about your father turning 60, what words or feeling first come to your mind?
What words of feeling?
The words or any feelings come to your mind when you think about your dad turning 60 today?
It's a big day. That's a lot of years under your belt. He's lived nearly double my life.
You know?
Nearly double my life. And if I could accomplish even half of what he's done by the time I turn 60, then I've made it.
That is amazing. What are some of the most important lessons your father has taught you through his life?
I think the biggest one is patience, and I'd say gentleness,
That's amazing.
but more specifically patience in the way I've seen him being patient with other people, but more specifically him being patient with me and patient in all the mistakes I've done, in all the issues I've had, or so everything that's happened. The one thing that I can always say is he's always been loving, and he's always been patient, and he's always been gentle. And if you ask anyone, I think the words that he'll utter, no matter what situation will come with, no matter what thing you come to him with, it's literally just the three words, "It is well."
This is that's the same thing your sister actually said in the interview. This is you guys have a lot of things in common, to be honest with you. How have you seen your father grow, change, or deepen over the years as you growing up with him?
I've seen him grow and change more in a sense of like he's always been a like praying man, a gentleman, and the way I've seen it, like even growing up, I was like, this is a lot, and then I've seen it increase tenfold to now, as in like I can walk through in life confidently, just knowing that I'm protected by my father's prayers, let alone what I'm praying on top of that. But as in, it's more seeing him like even grow and adapt to the way, like let's say me and my sister are, or we do different things to how they'd grown up, things that would be new to them and stuff. Them being mum and dad.
This is
But
amazing.
things being new to them, but then them just understanding that, respecting that, and then giving their advice, their thoughts on it, and I don't know, kind of teaching us and showing us how to do life better.
Great. What sacrifice has he made that you deeply honor and appreciate? I know it's a lot of them, but at least.
It's a silly one, to be fair. Like one of my favorite pair of shoes was Jordan ones, customized, like nice pair of shoes. I'd always been saying, like for years, I want these shoes, I want these shoes, I want these shoes. And then, yeah, when I finally got them, I remember mum literally telling me stories of like how dad would wear the same clothes and things. Like when we'd go out shopping, like I'll be like, I want this, I want this, I want this, I want this, I want this. And then he's literally he'd walk out the shop with a pair of socks. Like he's happy. But then he was happy and content because he was seeing me and my sister and my mum happy. Yeah.
What part of your father's story inspire you the most?
Ooh. No, it goes similar to what I said before, as in, I think number one would be literally the way he like prays and the way he walks with God and everything. It's something where, or even in my struggles that I've struggled with, and you're just seeing him do it consistently, no matter what's thrown at him, no matter rain, shine, snow, storm. Like he'll be there pressing consistently, praying consistently. And the second inspirational thing is just his patience and gentleness. Like one of the things, if you ask anyone around me, I used to be such an angry human being.
Are you kidding?
So it was like a complete, like it would be a complete contrast between like me and my dad. I was angry at everything, everyone.
So you balanced it.
Nothing, and it's just like seeing him live, seeing him succeed, seeing his relationships with other people and everyone else is an inspiring thing.
Amazing. I'm going to ask you some question in terms of love, kindness, and faith. How has your father shown you love in a way that shapes who you are today?
In the way that shapes who I am today.
Yeah.
He's shown me love by always being an open book and always being an open door. Like, no matter what goes on, no matter what I do, I know I'll always have an open door to walk into. I'll always have food in the house. I'll always have a bed to sleep on.
This is amazing.
Like, yeah, as in, so it's kind of giving you the freedom to chase what you want, because it's like he's always there and will always be loving.
This is amazing answers. In what ways has your father's faith or relationship with God influenced your own?
Influence my own.
Mm-hmm.
I think the fact that he'd always be pushing us to pray, pushing us to study, like it's the small habitual things that he'd do when we were young, that he knew that we would carry on into our adulthood. Like the small things, even things like praying before dinner, like, or every Tuesday we'd pray as a family. Every Thursday we'd have a Bible study. It's things like that. Even when I was younger,
Yes.
I didn't fully understand why. I'll be like, why are we doing this again? Why
Over.
like every Tuesday, really? Every Thursday, really? Like, but he understood. He sees the bigger picture. He saw the bigger picture. And I think that's one of the things with Dad. I think where he's in that much touch with his faith, it's like near like he knows what you'll need before even will do.
Okay. Nah, that's deep. You said something about your father's patience and ability to have freedom. You'll be able to talk to him regardless of what is going on in the world. Doesn't really matter. How has his example taught you about forgiveness, grace, and humility?
It's taught me a lot, because if there's someone in my life that like should have either pushed you away, should have like, you know, these, what's it called, like when people say tough love, if there was like someone that isn't should have just been like, you know what,
Yes, I had enough of you.
yeah,
Everything you have done. I've been
I've had
trying
enough.
all this year, hard enough. But in his case,
if there was someone that should have that attitude and would have every right to have that attitude, he doesn't. And like, he'll tell me over again that he wouldn't, isn't, you'll say a phrase of like, it's not in him. Like, it's like, and you'll see it whether it's with me, whether it's with his brothers, like that, what it's taught me, that forgiveness and loving kind of thing is in him. Like, it's a part of him, rather than, let's say, you know, learning it or growing up or building it. Like, that's something that was in him and always in him. And then I feel it's like aging as fine wine, like more love, more wisdom, like
regardless, the love is still there,
yeah.
regardless of what we've been through. Your father is a son of God, a man of God. What do you think God has done through your father's life, that you are mostly thankful for all these years?
I think for him being like a real prayer warrior, because I don't think I'd be where I am today without him praying, without my sister praying, without my mum praying. I don't think I'd be where I am today without those guys always looking out for me. And it's not just him, it's like I know, like through him, my aunts and uncles will be praying, through him, other family members will be praying, through him, other pastors, reverends would like all be praying. And like that's a big thing that's set on a foundation that, like I said, that he is set in a foundation that he's set for us and our lives.
The prayer is the key.
Mm.
I'm going to ask you some childhood and memories questions. What is your happiest memory of your father when you were a child?
The happiest me.
Any memories that you remember?
I think how old I was when I was a child. How old did you say?
It would anyone you can remember really that you was like, oh my god, I'm so happy, like or any share memories or anything he has done or you have done.
I think it would be one of the big ones for me. Whenever we'd go out to the farm, whenever we'd, if I'm honest, whenever we do anything together, it would be like I'd be like at my father's side, like the whole time. He could say, I don't know, he's just going to the shops to get milk. I'm like, okay, I'm coming too. Like, just to be with him, just seeing him as much as possible.
Yeah. When did you first realize how much your father has done for you as you're growing up? When you realize, oh, this experience, oh my God, I've got to be an adult now. These people have been through some stuff.
About 12 years ago, when I think it was probably one of the most scariest moments ever
In your life.
in my life. When obviously I'd found out that I was having a daughter. And I think one of the most scariest things was telling my dad, not from the fact of like, it was just, I didn't know what he'd say. I didn't know the situation. I didn't know, like, there were a lot of things going on. And like I said, it was at that moment when we told him, and he literally just looked at me. I was expecting shouting. I was expecting,
screaming
oh
like,
my
oh, you're
gosh,
young. What is
yeah,
wrong with you? This is what
what have
I
you
had
done?
in
Blah,
plan
blah,
for
blah.
you.
But literally, it as well.
Imagine.
Just looked at me in the eye, and just, it as well.
What's one moment with your dad that you never forget and hope to tell your future generation about? Something like, I know he's 60 now, but there's one moment or that the thing you will be talking about over that I think your kids will pass it on and on. You know, like a sort of story, like imagination that you'll be able to share with it. Like now I talk about my dad's and I talk about what my dad used to say about the granddad because I never met my dad's granddad. So one of the one moment that you will never forget and hope to tell your future generation.
About how, I think one of the first things to tell, how loving he is, how patient he is, how strong he is, no matter what was at him, no matter what came at him. I'd be telling them that through thick and thin, rain and shine, he'd always be praying, he'd always be there, he'd always be loving. And that's one thing that I'd want them to know, and one thing I'd always want them to experience too, like how I feel about how he's always been there for me, is one thing that I would share and experience, and to remind them and let them know that he'll always be there for them.
This is amazing. What will you most admire about your father as a man? Not just your dad, as a normal human being, like if there's a one word to describe him. Imagine the whole, how many, 7 billion people,
Mm.
they like your dad in the world. It would have been a better place, isn't it?
I think prayerful. I think,
Grateful.
yeah, that would be the one, or one of the things that I would say. Like him always praying, him always, like, and through that prayer, like, showing that gentleness and that patience too. Like, yeah, I know that's not one word, but
100%. Yeah. For real.
it's hard to pick
One.
just one.
If you could thank him for just 3 things, what would they be if he's watching this video in future?
If I could thank him for 3 things,
Yes, all these 3 years.
I think the first thing we have to thank him for is the things he's already done. As in, I don't know when he'll be watching this. I mean, right now I've just turned 29. And whether he's watching this at 30, 31, 32,
Yes.
whether he's watching it when I'm 60, I wanted to thank him for the 60 years of what he's already done.
Wow.
As in,
yes.
when, yeah, like if he's watching this, well, he'll be 60. I mean, he'll be 90, I'll be 60 kind of thing. Thank you for the 60 years of my life, for the things that you've done. Thank you for the 60 more that you'll do. And I think the thing that I'll thank him for the most is, like, it comes as like a 2-hitter. One, always being honest and straight with me, never beating around the bush, never think, no matter the subject or topic, no matter how hard it is or how hard the words are, for him being straight and upfront, will always be thankful for that. And then another one is, I'll thank him for never being like angry, or like, I don't know, he may be angry, but he'll never show it. Like, he'll
never show you down as a son.
Yeah, like he'll come at me hard. He'll come at me like with words. He'll come at me thingy, but it's never ever out of anger. It'll be out of love, and the love that he has, and the, like, coming at you for the life that he envisions for me. And then I think lastly, would be to thank him for, I don't know, showing me how to be a dad, how to be a husband, how to be a dad, how to be a husband.
Yeah.
Like, that's, like, how to be a man. It's one of the things where, like, when I will talk about him to people, it's, I don't know, isn't how to put it. He's like the greatest guy I know.
Ever.
Like, do you know what I mean?
The best
Like,
ever.
like, isn't if you want an example for this,
Mhm.
it's like it's the greatest guy I know. Like,
How do you see his legacy continuing in you, your siblings, or the community?
mm,
How do you see his legacy continuing in you?
I see it in the ways he'll push me to do things and push me to,
The best
yeah, the best,
version of
and push
yourself.
me to strive for the best. He'll push my sister to strive for the best.
Mhm.
But not only that, he'll push like our extended family and our family members to strive for the best. Like whether it's brother-in-law, son-in-law, like the whole extended family, he'll push everyone to strive for the best. So I think where the legacy will be in the amount of people he's already touched and he'll continue to touch, like new people. There's some people that I've met this week that will tell you that I've known this man for 38 years from when we worked at the same workplace here in Zim, like things like that.
He's never
And
changed.
you just like, you're touching people 38 years ago
Imagine.
that still remember today, that still will be there for you today. That's like a legacy whilst you're still
100%.
alive.
That's very
Like
impactful.
that's a lot already. And then there's still, I said that was only 38 years. There's still 38 more years to touch more people. Like, I think the legacy will be in years' time when we are all looking at how he's touched us, how
Mhm.
we're here today because of the patience he's had, the gentleness he's had, the firmness he's had, the prayer he's had,
Yes.
like with the forgiveness he's had
Mhm.
with all of us as a family, as a community. And like I said, he already has a legacy while still being here with us.
If you could say one blessing, prayer, or wish for your father at 60 years old, what will it be? Like you mentioned before that you want him to live through 120 years, so it's part of my wish. So
To stay strong, to stay patient, to stay forgiving. And I think most of all for, I don't know, to stay for many years to come.
years
Like, I think
to
is,
stay young.
yeah, he's one of those people where you think back and you already can't think what life would be like without him from the things he's already done. And you just think to yourself how much more you'll need him. Because like I've said, I haven't even faced 30 years of life. He's at 60. Like he'll know more in his remaining years, however long they may be, plentiful. He'll learn more in those than I ever would in my 90. And it's just about being there and absorbing and taking in all of that for as long as possible. So I'll be wishing him many more years.
Thank you so much for this interview. It
Thank
means
you.
a lot. And I think your future generation will be showing them this. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, dear.
Can
How
you
are
tell
you?
me your name and your relationship to the celebrant who is turning 60 today, please?
My name is Lindy, and actually the wife to the birthday man.
I've got questions about life, love, God, relationship, about your husband today. When you first met your husband, what was the first thing that stood out to you?
When I met my husband, we were still in school. I was doing my O levels, and he was doing his A levels.
Oh,
And what actually stood out for me was his humbleness,
mhm.
um, the I think I would say his respect
It's amazing.
in terms of people in general.
Mhm.
And yeah, I would say those were the two main things that stood out for me. And I think the main one for me as well was his passion for the things of God, the way he actually, wanted to really be more involved in the things of God.
Mhm.
Yeah.
What was the moment you knew he was the one?
That's a good one.
Mhm.
I think we had been friends for a while. So the one thing that is key for us is we have got a friendship before we became kind of like in a what I would say a love relationship, which actually developed into a marriage. So I would say our friendship really was kind of like key,
Mhm.
so much that even when he asked me out, I did say to him, as long as it will not going to disrupt our friendship, because we really
Oh,
have
it
got
was
a good
very solid
relationship.
from the
Yeah,
beginning.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah, yeah.
What are your favorite memories from your early days together?
My favorite memories were, I would say, for us, we became what I would say, we started dating within a group.
Mhm.
So from we were friends, a group of friends, and then our relationship grew from that. We actually built on that. So it was more of the way we actually used to spend time with our friends.
Mhm.
We used to go for youth groups. I think it was really good that we did quite a lot of things together. We had so much in common, especially when it comes to the things of the Lord. I love going out, and he was also the same. So we used to go out for youth camps.
Mhm.
We used to go out maybe for outreach teams.
Oh, okay.
We actually, again, we grew up in the same neighborhood. So it was those walks really that we used to do. Maybe like over the weekends, we would go for long walks, and yeah,
You guys have a
it,
lot of
it,
things
it was really good. It
in
was good.
common.
Yeah, yeah.
What qualities in him have you admired the most over the years?
I think over the years, it's the patience. Dean is one person who is really patient. The calmness.
Mhm.
Dean is one person who will remain calm even in the midst of the storm, irrespective of what is going on around him.
Around him.
He will still be the same. And the peace. Dean is a peacemaker. He is one person, even if it means him getting hurt and building that peace, within a group of people or with one person. He would rather make those sacrifices himself
To keep
just
the
for
peace.
just for peace.
Mhm.
So yeah, and then the respect as well. He is one person who respects every individual, be it young people, adults, irrespective of whether they respect him back or not. He is still very respectful. And the other thing I think is more of how he is. What's the word? What can I say? Din can, you can give Din nothing, but he will bring out something really
Something
big.
out of it.
Yes, so he's one person who knows how to mentor people, how to bring give kind of like make people feel confident.
Mhm.
He's one person who will actually even when you don't believe in yourself,
So.
he's one person who actually bring the best
Mhm.
out of everybody. So as for Dean, there is nobody who can't do anything. That's one thing that I admire for him. He has got that patience of trying everything to build up something out of someone, bring out the best out of someone.
Mhm.
Yeah, so those are the qualities that really I admire in him. Yeah.
I know he's 60 years old today.
Mm.
And what has been your proudest moment watching him grow through life? Proudest moment.
I think the proudest moment is how he has always stepped up, to be a dad, to be a friend, to be a mentor. He's just like a lot of things in one. It's like even at home, really, he has always been more than a father to the children, and not only to his children. He has actually even to the extended family, even to the church,
Mhm.
in the way that he's sort of like mentored, encouraged, supported all the young people. So yeah,
Mhm.
so I would say those are the proudest moments, that I feel that I'm so proud of him in terms of like even at work. There's some people who would have actually given up on themselves and they think they can't do it, and he's actually managed to support them. And eventually, some of the people you find that maybe they are now managers, they are now
Mhm.
engineers, because he has
Very,
actually sort
very
of like
impactful.
supported them
Mhm.
to say, you can do this, come on, you can do this. And yeah, and I like the way he really mentors even the young people through their training for the engineering, or even for church, those young people who actually aspire to even get into business.
Mhm.
He will support them throughout, he will attend their conferences. So yeah, yeah.
He said life is up and down, and um, nothing is perfect in life.
Yeah.
What was the hardest challenge you two faced as a couple, and how did you overcome it together as a team?
I think for us, the one thing that has actually been an issue. It's always, like when you get married and you become one.
Yes.
Many a times you find that the families still feel they can speak to one person, and and they don't feel comfortable maybe with coming to me. Dean comes from a big family, I come from a small family.
Mhm.
My family, that I'm the last born in the family, so I'm the baby of
The
the
baby
home.
of.
So everybody has always made sure that Dean is kind of like the baby of the family as well. But it's actually the opposite on Dean's end, where they are a big family.
Mhm.
And I think over the years, the struggle that we have always had, it's whereby I don't know whether it's people kind of like believe in marriage differently. But for them, I think it's more of it has always been done. So it's that kind of thing that for me, that has always been the challenge, where at times I think they overlook that, we are a couple, and actually feel that maybe they would need to go direct to Dean, and he needs to address things. So how we have managed to kind of like balance that.
Yeah.
It's more of, it doesn't matter who comes to him. At the end of the day, me and him will still have that open communication.
As a team.
So we would still be a team even outside. It doesn't matter who they will approach, even if they continue to approach him, but still me and him will still discuss that. And then for many a times, I also don't bother maybe feeding back. I always prefer him to feed back, because things would have come through him. So I'm sure everyone is still thinking, he has made this decision independently, but at the end of the day, we are still a team. We still make that
The
decision.
family, the best friends.
Exactly,
Yes,
exactly.
They grew up together. They've been together for many years.
Yeah. So it's that kind of thing where, okay, it doesn't matter who they approach, but at the end of the day, the response or the output is still from both of us. Yeah.
Your husband is 60 years old today, and he's a father. What makes him a great father?
I think it's the love. Dean is one person that loves. At times, it's very difficult to understand his love unless and until you also have got a relationship with God, because he is one person that in the flesh you would not understand his love. But I think when you are in kind of like looking it from a spiritual aspect, he is one person who actually loves unconditional. He is one person who makes sacrifices. So it's more of the way, I think at times when I have conversations with him, and then maybe we are kind of like facing a situation, it's more of at times he'll be like, how would have God dealt with this? So in that way, it's more of looking in the Bible in terms of like how God dealt with situations more
like
than, how we feel. So he's not like feelings driven kind of person. So for him, it's more of like, I'm doing this for God, and, this is how God would want me to do things, more than just how he's feeling. So he doesn't go by his feelings for most of the times, whereby someone feels low today, tomorrow they feel high, tomorrow they are in a good mood, and that kind of thing. Yeah.
That's amazing. What value has he taught your children or loved one by example, as a role model?
I think the main thing that he has actually sort of like taught me and the children is that consistency. Dean never changes. He's there. He's available. He has always stepped up from day one as a father, as a husband.
Yeah.
And the values is more respect, and again the values of like he has built a very good relationship with the children. I think from the time when they were small, we have always had an open relationship where we allow the children to express themselves, and we also kind of like sort of like maybe explain things in the way we wouldn't say don't do this, but we would actually explain why we feel this, whatever they are doing, is inappropriate. So at the end of the day, we also listen to their voice, but at the same time, we give them advice in terms of like, this is not good for you. And then in that way, it makes them understand that it's not a matter of like not doing
Not
things
to
for
do
the
it.
sake of not doing them.
Or
But
having a better decision,
yeah,
better choice.
exactly. So yeah, and I think again it's about the responsibility. He has always taught the children responsibility, that you don't get old for just for the sake of being old, but age comes with responsibility.
100%.
So it's one of those things where as they grow, as the children grow up, it's more of that growing up. There is some responsibility in it as well.
Mhm.
And he is always encouraged, again, one thing, to say it's best to make the right choices,
Mhm.
if you can, because at the end of the day, it's not, it doesn't benefit you for to make mistakes for the sake of making them, just because you want to see how it's like to make a mistake.
Mhm.
But if you can get the things right from the onset,
Mhm.
then it's good, because some of the wounds at times, when you make those choices, and then you get hurt, or anything happens, at times it's very difficult to kind of like heal from that.
Mhm.
So if possible, if you can get things right with the support, then get them right from the onset.
Yes. What lesson about love and partnership have you learned through your marriage to him all these years?
Yeah, I would say its main one is respect, really, because when you love somebody,
Mhm.
you respect them, you respect their values, you respect their choices. um yeah, I would say, and the humbleness, for him, I would say, he's one person who is humble, irrespective of his achievements, or his job, or anything like that. He is still that humble person. He's still there for everybody. Not like, he would say, okay, maybe this person is not educated,
Mhm.
then maybe I'm not going to associate with them or look down on them. He is still one person who is so accommodative
Mhm.
of everyone, irrespective of who
Background
they
or
are,
wherever they come,
background,
who they
or
are.
yeah, that kind of thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
What advice will you give young couples based on the life you have built together with your husband? Hmm.
I think I would say, for for young couples, I would advise that, love is not sort of like a feeling,
Mhm.
because feelings, they come and go. So when you are in a relationship, it's more than just the feeling, because you may wake up one day
Yes.
feeling differently. But I would say love is a commitment. Love
Yes.
is a commitment, and I would say it's unconditional. You don't love because someone loves you back. There are times when maybe you agree to disagree,
Mhm.
but when you have that unconditional love, it means you still love with that person, even in those
Regardless.
times of disagreement.
Mhm.
There are times when someone will you kind of like annoy you, or make you angry, um, but that doesn't sort of like change your relationship.
Mhm.
You still love that person. So for example, if maybe I call him honey,
Yes.
so I still call him honey, even when I'm
Regardless of
angry,
what is going
even
on.
when I'm arguing with him, he's still honey.
Mhm.
Even when I'm arguing with him, we're still holding hands. It doesn't
Matter.
mean that, of course, there are times when someone needs their space. Yes, they can get their space, but it doesn't mean that maybe I'll be angry with him throughout the day. I'm not talking to him, as a
Mhm.
kind of thing. Now we still chat. We can maybe put that conversations that we were having on hold or suspended for a while, but then we get on with our lives, we get on with our conversations. Yeah, so I would advise that you don't get angry forever when it comes to a relationship. And another thing is that trust. It's good that you maintain the trust, because sometimes if you break that trust, for you to get it back at times it's really difficult. And again, I would say, I know some people say it's very difficult, but forgiveness is key. It actually helps you as well. It's healthy for you as an individual to forgive the person who has actually wronged you, whether they've come to you to apologize or not. Sometimes it's best. I've actually learned over the years that is actually key for me to come to that space where I'm actually thinking, okay, I'm not gonna hold on to this anymore. I'm just going to let it go and start afresh in terms of what I'm doing or where I'm going, and not hold on to that grudge, or to say, oh, someone wronged me 2 years ago, then I'm still not talking to them today. If I find it that it's not comfortable for me, I will kind of like remove myself and from that situation. But at the same time, it doesn't mean that I'll be saying I'm not going to speak to that person for the rest of my life. Yeah.
Looking back, which shared memory with him make you smile the most?
Which what?
Which shared memories
Mm-hmm.
make you smile? If you think about it, all these years, what are the memories that you guys have shared that makes you smile when you thought about it?
Oh, that's so many. I think the most amazing ones was our courtship. We kind of like built on quite a lot of memories, places we went to together, the holidays with our friends. We actually used to like go with our friends, and the times we would go on our own. And then I think the most memories, I would say, the time when we had our children.
Oh,
You know, the way we sort of like supported each other. I think I felt like at some point it was as if he is the one who was going through the pregnancy more than me.
okay.
The
It was a
way,
share
yes,
moment, shared
yeah,
everything.
yeah. And to the extent that all my two children are cesarean, so he's been to theater.
Everywhere.
And even though I didn't want him to go, because eventually it kind of like made him say, no, I don't want you to go through this, because he was the one that I opted for general anesthetic, so I wasn't seeing anything, and he was the one who actually made sure he's watching everything. And he actually said for him it was traumatic, and he didn't want me to be going through that. So yeah, and then after that, it was actually the looking after the children, raising the children, the way we actually teamworked. Even as they were growing up, and when they started school, the way we dropped it off in school, picking up from school, and then just the journey, the relationship with them, how we would openly speak about life things, and allow them to sort of like ask questions where they didn't understand. So it was every step of the way whereby we were kind of like doing things together. And then even when the children started going for interviews, the way at times we would go, both of us, for to support them with their interviews for uni. And at times he'll be like, "Oh, you stay at home, I'll go," and then he would take them out for interviews at the university. So yeah, it was really exciting. But the most memories that actually stand out for me, it was after I qualified my social work degree, and it took a while for me to get a job local, and I ended up going to work away from home, 2.5 hours to 3 hours drive.
Really?
How he actually used to drive me in my car and drop me in my car where I was staying with his niece, and then he would catch a bus and and go back to Wolverhampton.
Oh my
So especially if I went on a Sunday, he would drop me off, and then we will kind of like sort of like he would get a rest, and then maybe catches a bus around 8, 9, and then it will be like 1 o'clock a.m. when he gets back to Wolverhampton. So it was more of like he didn't like the stress of me driving all the way by myself. And then at times he will actually, on a Friday, he'll be like, "No, you're not driving this weekend, I'm coming round." Then he'll finish work and then he'll drive all the way. And then in the evening he will actually drive back. And then on a Monday in the morning, at times I'll be like, okay, let me maybe get a train and go straight to work from Wolverhampton. So yeah, it was more of like we felt like we were
Very
dating at that
dedicated
time.
and yes.
Yeah. It was more of like boyfriend girlfriend kind of like thing. Yeah, it was good.
As a 60 years old, what do you look forward to sharing with them in this next chapter of life?
Oh, the
I mean,
next
the next 100 years are
the
probably.
next chapter is so exciting because now it's come back to just the two of us, just
Yeah.
where we started.
Yes. Yes.
Just where we started. So we are so looking forward to that. Yeah. I think that's the most exciting one, where Kay and Letty will have to make appointments to come and see us.
You know
And
what I'm saying?
yeah, and
Yeah.
we'll be like,
Yeah.
"Guys, we
This
are
is dad and
away."
mommy moment.
Yes. Girlfriend, boyfriend moment,
Yes.
actually.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's one thing that we're looking forward to. Yeah.
I have the last questions.
Mm.
Can you please give him prayer, blessings for being a 60 today? Whatever wishes. When he's watching this video, he'll put a smile on his face.
Um, I think my prayer is for him to is for more blessings in terms
Yes.
of especially the gift of life.
Mm-hmm.
Because me and him, we love life. We love enjoying.
You know, I can see.
Yeah, so it is my prayer that God will give him good health, happiness,
Amen.
joy, peace,
Amen.
and I know that he's got quite a lot of plans,
Mm-hmm.
especially in regards to the church and family.
Mm-hmm.
And I pray that God will grant him his wishes in what he is planning. And it is my prayer that even in terms of his what he aspires to do in regards to his work. Yeah, so that is my prayer, and the passion again for the things of the Lord. I pray God to give him more anointing, more grace,
Amen.
really to work. He is one person who is passionate about working for God. So it is my prayer that God will actually help him to fulfill his vision in regards to the things of the Lord. Yeah.
Thank you so much for coming to this interview. I know I'm very happy that we made it.
Yes, thank you
Thank
so
you.
much
Thank
for
you.
your time.
Today is your brother's 60th birthday. We're just going to ask some questions about the memories. Can you please introduce yourself, please?
I'm Tulan Chauke, the young brother to the Chauke, who's celebrating his 60th birthday. So, well, basically being the last born within the sons, not
Okay.
within the family.
Okay, within the sun. Okay.
The sons, yeah.
So, my first question will be based on looking back on his 60 years birthday. What moment, quality, or memory of his stands out most to you?
Right. By default,
Mhm.
I wonder why the family called him Dean, because
Okay.
Dean has a meaning in all the three pillars of life.
Mhm.
There is the Dean in the social aspect,
Mhm.
where churches have a dean within the Anglican Brethren. There are deans that are there.
Yeah.
Within the academic spheres, there are deans who are academically upright. Within any other professions,
Fact.
there are deans. Economically, there are
Fact.
deans. So his name fits in all those aspects. And I still wonder why he was called a dean, because he's performing par excellence in all those fields.
Wow.
He's a pastor, that's on the social. He's an engineer, that's the work professionals, and that's something else.
Mhm.
Economically, you know, his name fits in all. If you could go to Google or go to any other dictionary,
Mhm. Mhm.
you would get the perfect. So I really wonder, but then he's a cut above the rest. So that's him in
Fact.
retrospect.
So, how has his kindness, love, or faith in God touched or influenced your own life personally?
Right. Like I've said within the speech,
Mhm.
he's an accommodative man. He's um, gives advice. He directs and everything else. So within that, remember, I'm the last born son
Mhm.
within the family. So being pampered, being done everything else, at times you go out of your way and you become a renegade
Fact.
in terms of drinking, in terms of doing things that are not within the family norms, things that are not within the anything else.
Mhm.
But he has his own way of you coming into the table so that you come to discuss. And he's very diplomatic in his approach. And by default, or by the way, do you know the definition of diplomacy?
Yeah.
At times, when things are hard or tough,
Yes.
diplomacy at times, he has this other diplomacy, of which he will tell you to go to hell and you look forward to the trip. So he's such kind of a person who, when you have done right, he,
Applaud.
he applauds and appreciates.
Mhm.
If you do wrong, he would rebuke you and tell you, if you are able to return to yourself or return to your senses, he will tell you. But if you are wrong, and that's him. But all the other aspects in terms of everything else within the religious systems, he touches a lot of lives.
Nice.
Because
Even not just his family, just everybody.
no, it is in the way that he behaves. It's not his behavior in family. It's not behavior at work. It's not behavior
Generally.
in his appearance.
Traits.
In his appearance, wherever he is, he touches lives.
Wow.
He's simple. They say still waters run deep. So that's him.
So, what lessons of value have you learned by simply watching the way he lives? He lives his life for the past 60 years.
Basically, from the humble beginnings,
Okay.
a rural background, to be where he is. It's a great stride. One, it's in terms of the rural background where he lived, the schools that he went. He never went into an affluent school. He never went into a fancy thing. He was on barefoot. The impact that he has done here in Zimbabwe and the impact that he has done in the UK befits him, that I can describe him as the only black man who dreams in English. Because anything else that he decides to touch turns gold.
Wow.
He's the first man to electrify the Zimbabwean rail. And that's why he was pushed by the UK. And this is why in the UK, they can't let go. So then what do you say about such a man? I don't.
If you could offer one blessing, prayer, word of encouragement for his next chapter as he turns 60 years old today, what will it be? Blessings, prayer for the next chapter.
Right, for the next chapter. Well,
because he's going to be watching this. He's turning 60 now. So 60 is a milestone.
Right, 60 is a milestone. And what I'm looking at and what I'm wishing for him,
yes,
is to stay blessed, to stay focused,
yes,
and never lose hope on us, the family, and on each and every man or woman or any congregate or any person that he meets. I wish God to grant him more life.
Thank you. Amen.
More ideas.
Amen.
More impact into the world's development. Not here in Zimbabwe, but in the world wide.
All over the world. Yeah.
So, well, basically, that's it.
Thank you so much for this interview. Thank you for your time. I'm just keeping all this memory in place.
Right. Then, finally,
yes,
before you close the interview,
yes,
they say behind every successful man,
yes,
there is a supportive woman.
of course.
And at least I would love to thank my mama Mdala for the love, for the care, and everything else. I wish here to please keep accommodating us in our musketeers and being renegades and being other people on the other side of town. And may he please keep him as he is and encourage him. And also, they say,
behind every successful man, there is a purporting woman, a woman who talks so much. Please, let's say keep talking because it keeps us on our toes so that at least we are keeping our house in order.
That's
But
amazing.
all the same, it's life. Life being a journey and not a destination.
Of course.
We wish that everything else that is done be done appropriately. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Happy birthday, Mr. Dean.
Happy birthday.
Today is your 60th birthday. We just want to ask you a couple of questions about life, God, faith. What has got you here today to be 60 years old? And it'd be good for like a sort of reflection for future generation. It's something that we can go back and still watch. Um, um, yeah. Can you please introduce yourself, please?
My name is Dean Chauke. I'm the celebrant as I'm celebrating my 60th birthday
It's very good.
today.
My first question is, what is the first memory that comes to your mind when you think about your childhood?
I think the first memory that comes to my mind is the story of how I was born. Being born in a village, in a kitchen, mom unassisted, without the traditional hospital setup,
Wow.
and survived as they took me to hospital soon after birth, and had a clean bill of health. What that to me shows is the grace of God in the circumstances that is there, because not many people survive under those conditions.
Of course.
But in a civilized world where you then get such situations, it is the grace of God that I'm here today.
That's amazing. When you are growing up, what was the biggest challenge you faced and how did you get through it?
I think when I was growing up, the biggest challenge and my passion is about people and about seeing others succeed, about seeing how our parents sacrificed for us.
Mhm.
And on reflection, they gave us every opportunity to succeed to the detriment of their comfortable lives. And that's one of the elements that when you grow up, therefore, there is this pressure that says some people have sacrificed a lot, and you cannot, in any form or way, discard their hard work that they have inputted into you.
Mhm.
And looking at the environment where we were, I would say by all world standards, we were affluent in
Mhm.
that our parents,
Mhm.
even back then, could afford to go and buy brand new cars on the market,
Mhm.
which meant they were typically very successful in their own right, and they could be able to lead us in a way that we could be saying we were privileged.
Wow. Who influenced you most as a young person and what do you think they taught you when you were young?
There is a number of people that influenced us, particularly our parents,
Mhm.
mom and dad. Dad particularly was one person that was family oriented, in essence, and mom as well, in that they took up even some of their less privileged siblings and relations, and they gave them a chance by taking them to school. you would find that they could pay for up to fees for up to 10, 12 people, some that they took under their wings to develop them and to nurture them until they were successful in their own right. So they didn't only take care of their immediate family or their extended families.
Mm-hmm.
They had that influence around them that they could take more and come and live with them. So when we grew up in a communal environment where there were many people that we lived with, which may not necessarily in the today's standards would have been close relatives, but they were being helped as part of community. So that helped us
Of
to
course.
see that our perspective changed. The other person that was of a sound influence, particularly in terms of faith,
Mm-hmm.
was my maternal grandmother and father.
Ah, okay.
They were spiritual individuals who were very influential in our upbringing, and therefore they were the first people that introduced us into faith. So mom's side was predominantly a faith
Faith.
family,
Ah,
and
okay.
then we caught up as a family to then be a family of faith.
This is amazing. So it's sort of a foundation that made you you are. What was the hardest lesson you have learned in life as a 60 years old person?
The hardest lesson I've learned in life is being equitable, knowing that you need to help others to succeed, which is where your success is. That is very difficult in a world where we are now all individualistic.
Yes.
And we need to develop, and we can be able to develop and be the only successful ones in a family or in a society or everywhere. So the hardest thing is under competition, which is one of my mantras here, is because God has given us the ability to breathe air freely,
Mm-hmm.
and He has given us His blessings equitably across all people.
Mm-hmm.
We need to be able to live in a global setup where we are not competing with others, but we create our own spaces.
Mm.
And this is foundational in that when we even look at the geographic setup of the whole universe,
Mm-hmm.
there is no single star that you find that it has collided with another star, nor the sun colliding with the moon, etc., etc. Each one of them, including all planets, are in their orbits. So I believe as human beings, we need to have that cultural setting and that foundation that says every one of us in our generation should
Mm-hmm.
be able to encourage each other to be successful in what we do.
This is very amazing and sound really selfless. If you could go back and give your younger self advice about school or starting a career, what would you say?
We need to take education seriously, both socially and academically,
Mm-hmm.
in that we miss opportunities as the younger generation by thinking that, as an example, we know it all. There is a lot to learn in life, and I find myself at 60 still
Learning.
learning and recalibrating what I have learned. But the key advice that I see is I had to relive my life twice, if I may say. I came in, went through school,
Mm-hmm.
didn't choose to go to university because the course that I wanted in university, I couldn't effectively make the grades for it whilst I was in Zimbabwe. So I decided to then go through the apprenticeship route.
Ah, okay.
I was successful as a tradesperson, but because of circumstances in Zimbabwe at the time and the opportunities that were open, we then fundamentally decided to leave the country and go into the UK.
Mhm.
But one of the key lessons that I learned, even though I went to the UK at the age of 38, there were practicalities that then I had to learn a new system. I had to learn to start working in different ways, which necessitated me to go to school. And I thank God for the company that I worked for, which sponsored me through uni. But one of the advices that is key, it's best to do your learning before you've got family. That way, it sets you up in a foundation that will allow you to develop further. So, the key learnings is use your youthful years below 30 into the 40s to develop yourself whilst you are not burdened with family. And once you do that, it sets a foundation for you to be successful in life.
Wow, this is amazing. What was the toughest period of your life, and how did you find the strength to keep going?
There is various stages. Each stage in life is very tough. The first one is around relationships. When I met my sweetheart, I was still in school, but I was already convinced at A level that she was the marrying type,
Wow.
if I put it that way. And so
Mhm.
I was straight with her that one day when I'm settled enough, I'll come and marry you. It was not, sweetheart, I love you, this and the other, but I was just saying, yes, I loved her and I still love her dearly, but I knew that she was going to be my wife at
Wow.
a very young age.
Young age.
Yes. The key decisions after that, though, was the lessons that I went through with my dad, who showed a kind love,
Mhm.
but gave me the impression that I needed to be more serious about my life.
Wow.
He would tell me, as an example, that as much as you are going to marry somebody's daughter, you just need to follow the pattern of birds, that they don't start by raising their children or raising their young ones without creating a nest.
Mhm.
So the practicality and the practical lesson that was there was, if you now want to marry, even though you've got a successful job, I need you to come and show me a title of the house that you have, and not to rely on a company house to keep your family.
Wow.
And he was straight up with me to say, well, where I am at the moment, I've got 7 other siblings other than yourself, and
Mhm.
I'm expecting that you grow up and be successful so that when they're in trouble in the future, they will also come to your house, not for you to be in trouble and you come and you try and live with me and my wife and my children. So, as the eldest son, make sure you get yourself a house.
It's a role model.
After that, I came back and I researched, and I had a title for my first house, and came and showed him to that. And I said, Dad, can I now marry? And he said, well, you have to pay dowry or lobola. So if you want to pay lobola, I won't take out of my kettle and make sure I pay for your own lobola. So if you want to lobola, go and get your cows, and then make sure you will meet the demands of what the wife is saying.
Wow.
Practically speaking, it led me as well to start developing that way and to prepare well in advance. So those challenges helped me to be able to set foundations in life that directed me in the right way, even though there was frustrations that I was feeling I was being delayed in what I was planning. But he taught me practical lessons that I have taken up to now. The second element is at work.
Mm-hmm.
In a very intelligent environment and where you are using intelligence, interestingly, I didn't realize the potential that was in me, and other people recognized that potential in me.
Ah.
In simplicity, even my sweetheart here, from a young age, I told her that I wanted to go and be a ranger, meaning I was going to be a national park warden because I like wildlife. I like that life of just trekking and seeing how animals live, etc.
Okay.
And so I decided I was going to be a bush person where I would be following animals about. But
Mhm.
she said, well, not with the intelligence that you have, that you go out there and you go for a secluded job. I would rather you do something that is practical because I know you're intelligent. I know you can do better.
This is amazing.
So many people would encourage me in that setting, but some felt threatened even in work situations when they saw me being successful.
Mhm.
And I had a hard time of having difficult bosses in that space, but managed to navigate all those ones. So though all those were natural lessons that were very practical, that helped me to push beyond those obstacles.
Yes. Wow. That's a long. This is very amazing take. Um, were there sacrifices you made that now that you feel worth it in the long run?
Yes, part of the sacrifices is taking the family through to the UK and starting life afresh. No pension, nothing, and building myself from the basics. It's the short term pain and the long term gain that comes through it.
Hmm.
And the fact that when I went in, I decided to go for schooling.
Mhm.
I need not boast here, but some people that interviewed me at the time when I got into the UK some years back are now working for me. And that is the grace
This is
of
the
God
grace of
that
God.
comes in terms of the principle and the sacrifice that says, do not mark any other person's homework, but do your own homework in personal development. And in the long run, it turns out that you will be more successful.
Wow. How has your idea of being a parent, partner, or friend changed over the years?
I wouldn't say it has changed much, but attention shifts from time to time in developing not your own children, but some other people's children.
Okay.
And this is the beauty about life, in that the best way to parent my own children, I found out that it was to parent even their friends.
Hmm.
That way it helps and bring about a safety net that comes through and that comes in.
Mhm.
The difficult with that model in most of the cases is, ordinarily people would say, you're now taking too much.
Mhm.
But in essence, if I'm to develop my own child better than the rest, then the rest would actually pull them down
Fact, because of the environment.
because of the environment and because of the influences.
Yes.
So I do believe that they should understand that the tough challenges that I give them, I don't then not do the same to other children that I meet, because I believe I'm teaching them the instruction that will take them to be more successful in their own lives.
Yeah, this is a very that's very interesting. What is the most important value you have tried to pass on to your children, siblings, family, and the loved ones?
The most important value is for us to understand who we are,
Yes.
understand the grace of God that is in us, understand the intent that God has intended us to do, even in life, and for us to be founded in faith. Once we do that, then we are mostly successful in our ways. So I use faith not only to say I believe in God, but I use faith to learn the practical lessons of what God intended us to do in life. So the best value that is here is simply the value that says parents pass everything that they have from generation to generation. And each generation is supposed to take responsibility and accountability for the things that they have and the legacies that they have in terms of morals to the next generation.
Mm-hmm.
But what is happening here in this present world is there is introduction of different cultures where people think they can just live as individuals without looking at the context that we have. So the value that I see here is the kindness from Scripture, the kindness from God, the fact that He says He has given us everything that pertains to life and godliness. For us to live in a society that is dependent on each other and is demonstrating the love of God that is here.
Mm-hmm.
And to be kind is much more peaceful than being stressed every time.
As a 60 years old man who has stood by your side through your hardest time, and what did that mean to you?
My sweetheart has been standing by my side in the hardest of times, and he has seen our rising up,
Mm-hmm.
our slowed progress, our challenges that come through life.
Mm-hmm.
And it is a joy to watch, and it is a joy to be with such a person. And there are friends that we have managed to get along the way, and our children and the rest. We need to depend on each other so that we are sane. We need to be able to structure our lives and our understanding in a way that allows us that in hard times we sail through. So knowing that you've got a robust family around you,
Mm-hmm.
knowing that you've got other friendships around yourself,
Mm-hmm.
allows you to know that you are in safe hands, and more so that God is guiding you on a day-to-day basis to the final outlooks in life. And that is one of the joys that I have, that over the 60 years, there are some people that have been critically positioned to help at the right time, to
Hmm.
give me a leverage and encouragement of continuing what I'm doing until now.
This is amazing. When you look back, what's one thing you wish you hadn't worried so much about?
It's interesting that this one is one of the things that has kept me going, in that that's where I've gone to faith. knowing that scripture says we shouldn't worry, we should pray for everything that we need to see and where we need to go. I've developed this system now where a lot of people think by nature I'm laid back, or sometimes I'm not perturbed. But I understand, as one has said, 99% of the things that we worry about never materialize.
Hmm.
So I would rather not be worried and take a day at a time, and knowing that things are going to be better in every season. So what you may find is what we call big problems. I have to weigh it in with what I call biblical proportion problems or God sized problems. Those God sized problems are the ones that I have to appropriate in prayer to God so that I stay stable. Otherwise, I would have suffered a lot of ills by overworrying.
Hmm.
So I take a day at a time, and whatever comes in, I know there is a solution somewhere.
Wow.
So I'm not pressured in that regard, but I understand that it gives a lot of stresses to other
Yes.
people who want certainty. But for me, I know my success is inherent in me, and every circumstance that comes in, I have to think appropriately to know how to overcome it.
As a 60 years old man, on everything you have achieved, what are you mostly proud of?
I'm proud of having a loving family and
Yes.
uh, having the focus that says I've done my best to see that a lot of people succeed in life.
Hmm.
That is probably the most thing that I'll be proud of and successful for. And being able to influence others to see that there is a better future. For me, that is what I'm proud of. And there is more that I'm mentoring even in society that helps us to succeed.
Mhm.
And that's where most of the pride is. And to cap it all, if my children and my siblings and others can catch the vision that says they can do better than what they see at this moment in time, it will help me to be much more prouder. And particularly for the children that I have, I've got two with my sweetheart here, but
Mhm.
there is extended children from our siblings and our brothers and all.
Mhm.
If they can understand that their success hinges on them being able to develop themselves, that to me will be the proudest thing, because we cannot really leave them much of inheritance, but we can leave them with the ability of doing life in a way that makes themselves happy.
Happy. That is
There is
so good.
many that have actually come in and they have received inheritance, and they've plundered it within months of receiving the inheritance. But I pray that God helps us,
Mhm.
that we create a successful generation that will carry on the legacy that will then set the foundation of going where we are.
If you had to pick one defining moment in your life, what will it be?
There is many of them, but I think the one defining moment in my life was choosing faith.
Wow.
And choosing faith meant that I had a higher standard to look out for and to attain,
Mhm.
which meant I wasn't relying on my peers and others to set the benchmark. The Bible, as it stands, sets out a lot of benchmarks and a lot of wisdom that makes me to push myself further than what is necessary. And the challenge that I have even now is I'm still ambitious at 60. And a lot of people are now saying I should slow down because I'm an old man. But what I see is there is still more land to take. There is
Yes.
still more things to do. And if I sink in and say, well, I think I've achieved enough, I have to rest, I risk slowing down and therefore speeding up my aging process. So, one thing that I'm generally proud of at this moment in time, and the foundational element, is that I chose faith, and faith is limitless in what we do, and there is more things to do, and I'll keep on doing until God's grace tells me it's enough.
Wow. As a person, generally, what makes you happy?
What makes me happy the most,
Ye-
which is where I am, is being able to help.
Hmm.
And what makes me most frustrated is having a demand from other people that is not met.
Oh.
As an example, I wish I would come, and this is on record, to a place where in my lifetime
Mhm.
I don't really need to look at the health of my bank balance to do what I need to do, but it's more of trusting God that what we need in life we will always get, and we replicate prosperity as we go along. So, to me, the critical thing here is being able to have capacity enough to bless others. And the challenge in this case is what comes from Genesis 12 1 to 3, where he says to Abraham, I am blessing you so that you can be a blessing to others. And that aspect of it is, when will I believe I'm blessed enough to bless others? And
True.
that's where the challenge is, that if he says, through you, all nations will be blessed, what it simply means is I have to be a conduit of receiving more blessings so that I can bless others. So the measure of success for me is seeing others around me being blessed, not for me only to say I'm the only one that is blessed, but others being so blessed in such a way that they become a blessing to others.
Oh, this is amazing. Even now at 60, what did you still hope to do or experience in the years ahead?
I think these, from 60 onwards, I feel there is a lot of fruitfulness that needs to come out of the various investments that we have actually created, plus the work that we have done in inspiring and leading others to succeed.
Hmm?
And to me, these are the years where I believe I will need to enjoy being with family, enjoy being with grandkids, enjoy traveling, enjoy having safe spaces
Mhm.
that
Mhm.
can be able to change the lives of others. But the critical one for me is being fruitful even in old age, to say, can we manage to harness the resources that we have? Can we manage to harness the relationships that we have
Mhm.
so that we get the most of life? And that's where really I am at the moment, to say anything that grows is what I want to be associated with.
What memory never fails to bring you joy when you think about it?
It's probably the first and foremost gift that I have is when I got married, and the first challenge that was there is when I was told in Mater Dei Hospital that your wife has just collapsed. We don't know why she has collapsed, and the kid that is just about to be born is tired as well. So we are just taking both to surgery. We don't know whether they will leave or not leave.
Oh my God.
So starting life in that perspective and as a young person showed me and made me to value life. And when God managed to bring them both back to life, it then actually made me a proud dad and being able to love my family. So that foundation actually changed my perspective of what is most important and what it is that we have to work about. Some people would say protective, but I'm not really protective, but I'm just thankful to God that if something had gone contrary to what I had, I can't imagine how the last 60 years or so and the last 33 years in marriage were going to be like. So that is where the grace of God actually comes in to influence us in those special moments.
If you could leave one piece of wisdom for future generation, what will it be?
We should live life as if we are the last generation on earth, living it with intention. And what I'm simply saying there is a lot of distractions nowadays and a lot of time wasting. But if we can build our lives in a way that allows us to be intentional, then we will surely be successful in what we do. We should plan our lives on the legacies and the things that God has freely provided. That allows us to be able to lean on our parents, to lean on our relatives, to lean on all those that God has provided for sustainability. But each generation wants to create their own. Yet here we have got a legacy, even in the Bible, where the Bible then says Abraham left all that he had to Isaac. And even if he had left all that he had to Isaac, the Bible then tells us in Genesis 26 that Isaac started digging the wells that the Philistines had covered. So I feel each generation is supposed to lean on the other so that we perpetuate the successes that we have. That no generation is supposed to relax to say, well, I think I'm going to inherit everything when my parents go, so I don't need to work hard. What I intend here is for people to understand that what we have as parents is just a foundation for successes that need to come. So we need to be generational thinkers. We think of our great grandchildren and how successful they are going to be in life. And once we have that perspective,
Yeah.
it means we are not mean enough to think that we will take all these things away with us, but we need a responsible generation to allow them as well in our lifetime to develop systems that will help them to succeed in all we do.
Thank you so much for taking a moment to reflect on the journey, share your thought, the blessings, memory, and your word will be treasured for all of us and for the coming generation. Thank you.
Thank you so much.